Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, listen. The term just leave, it can be unfair. It may not always be that easy because you may not have the finances. You may not have the resources. But to be honest with you, I believe that there's always a way of escape. You may have to create an escape plan. You have people break out of maximum security prisons. So if a person can break out of maximum security prison, you can leave a relationship. You can get out of your relationship. But you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself enough to take the chance? And if you have kids, it's not even about you. Can you get your kids out of that relationship and into safety? What are you willing to risk? What chances are you willing to take? Keep your integrity. Keep your class. Keep your dignity. Don't stoop to their level. Don't revenge cheat. Don't abuse them because they're abusing you. Don't try to hurt them because they're hurting you. Create an exit strategy. You may have to play a role to get out. You may have to lull them to sleep. Do everything the right way. Throw them off guard. Let them go to work. Let them go to sleep. Let them go out of town on business, whatever it may be, and then up and leave. You may have to use an excuse. Such and such is on their deathbed. This person on their deathbed, I got to go visit them. You may have to create an exit strategy. But I'm going to tell you, I would rather die standing up than live on my knees. So when they say just leave, it may not be fair. It may not be easy. It may not be the thing that you want to do or the thing that you know how to do. But if it is the thing that you need to do, then you got to do it. You got to do it. And we see horror stories. We see horror stories of people getting killed. And that right there, don't let that person death be in vain. They didn't die just for themselves. Give their death purpose by allowing it to save millions. And the way that it'll save millions is that as soon as you see the red flags of abuse, as soon as you recognize crazy, run. See, what happens is we recognize crazy, we recognize the abuse, and we stay. And when you stay, you reinforce it. When you stay, you feed it. And when you feed that abuse, physical, emotional, verbal, financial, when you feed that abuse, it gets stronger. And it gets bigger, it gets badder, it gets more bodacious, and now here it is, it's like the Hulk. It's like the big green Hulk. It's this raging machine. And this is when it goes from just abuse to insanity. It goes to where this person is now crazy because you have fed that monster, because your presence sanctions the environment. So because you have fed that monster, now it is so big and strong that when you leave, now you are at risk of experiencing the most danger. When you leave after feeding that monster for years, you can't just leave. You can't just go to a friend's house that they know where you are. You can't just go somewhere that they can trace your steps. You have to have an exit strategy that puts you in another state or in another city on a hidden address that they have no clue where you are, that they cannot touch you, to give that monster some time to starve and to be weakened and to come back to his or her senses. It could be the woman too. So you have to come up with an exit strategy that brings you to safety. But one thing I cannot ever condone is laying down. Is you lying down and allowing a person to abuse you because leaving may be too dangerous. If they will hurt you when you leave, they will hurt you for staying. But while you're staying, you will be tortured until the end. When you leave, you at least have a 50-50 chance of getting away and saving yourself and saving your kids. But staying under the guise of, I don't have enough money, I don't have the resources, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't know how to leave, staying under those reasons, it won't serve you, nor will it save you. So I want you to think, just leave is tough and it is unfair. And nobody understands except for the person going through it. But at the same time, one thing that I can tell you from being somebody who was toxic and controlling, the longer you stay, the worse it's going to get. And most people who act crazy in a relationship are not really crazy. And if you leave, they may be angry. They may send some bad voicemails, some bad messages, but they'll let you go in most cases. Now, the people who have lost their life, we have to look at that and realize how serious this is. That this ain't love and relationships. This ain't about money. This ain't about speaking engagements. This ain't about seminars and all of that. This isn't about books. This is about life and death. This is about your health, your wealth, your sanity, and your safety. This is much bigger than anything that people who try to make it all about business. This is real. This right here, what you're watching, is free because this is real. So I want you to understand that although it might be hard, if it's right, it's right. Like they say, it might be tight, but it's right. So listen, if you need to leave and you recognize those signs and it's still early, or even if it's late, but you know that you're dying by staying, I hope that you find the courage, that you come up with the plan, and that you take that chance to stand up for yourself and to walk away. Don't stoop to their level. Don't become a monster when you're fighting a monster. Get going. Hey, I hope to see you. I like to go much deeper than this when I'm on the road. I hope to see you DC, Chicago, New York City. I'm coming to you. TonyGaskins.com. Come out. Let's have a good time. I teach a lesson, do Q&A, experiments, role plays. It's a great time. DC, Chicago, NYC. Make sure go to TonyGaskins.com or Eventbrite.com and just search Tony Gaskins. You'll see the events come up. God bless you. Talk soon.